something. All right, guys. So team meeting, February 23rd, the year of our Lord, 2021. And welcome everyone. We didn't do our team meeting last week, so we have a lot to cover this week. Got some cool things that are, well, I went through and did a deep dive on the market. I want to talk to you guys about the mortgage moratorium and all that good stuff. So let's kind of get through the house cleaning items and
Hey,
we'll
Brett,
kind of go from there. Yeah.
can you make me a co-host really quick?
I have all the power. Lindsay, I hereby dub thee co-host. All right. All right, let's do our little quick COVID-19 update. Seems like things are starting to cool off and come down. Nancy Andreessen got me on like a bunch of things like vitamin D and echinacea, and like I have a whole regimen now of vitamins. Dale Chima got both of his shots, so he's safe. So people can feel free to be around him, and he can be around other people. So we want to watch Dale though, because he's going to be the guinea pig for the office. So if anything, if he starts transforming into something, we know that the vaccinations are not safe, and we want to stay away from him. But so far, he's in good spirits. He's kicking. So because things are cooling down, opening back up, I don't know. I'm feeling good about it. We are starting to go back into our hybrid model again, having more people into the office. We had a great family reunion. We had a lot of fun. For those of you that missed out, you really did miss out because it was a lot of fun. And I'd like to think that we learned something. Look, if you took one thing a day out of the family reunion, it's a win. So, oh, that's cool. If you guys turn your attention to Dale, now he's like walking in the clouds. That's kind of cool. Okay, but that's the COVID-19. We're going to continue to open up. We're going to continue staying the only office that's fully operational. And we have some expansion into our team and some movement that I'm going to talk to you guys about. But stay tuned, stay safe, stay tuned, wash your hands, and don't worry about Dale. Tech Tuesday. Sky, you want to talk about Tech Tuesday? What's going on?
Absolutely. Lindsay.
You can't hear anything, right?
Okay. So today we'll be talking about designs and commands. So there's actually a lot of cool things that you can do with designs and commands. So we're going to go over all those little features. And yeah, we'll talk about some smart plans, how you can set up some designs for those smart plans and get those out. And yeah, so join me right after this meeting. I'll put the link into the chat so you guys can join me.
Yeah. Awesome. Guys, I'm like a real broken record. We're in 2021. If you're not using Command, if you're not using the CRM, that's okay. But it's not okay as we continue to grow, because we're going to become more and more. We're a society now that's really dependent upon technology, and each and every day, each and every month and year, we become more and more dependent on that. And if the competition is adjusting and you're not, that's not a good thing for business. So that kind of leads really good into the next slide. So we're doing some movement here that you guys are going to see. So we've made some adjustments. Dale Chima, our founder of the company, has assumed the role of operating principal. I should have, I accidentally spelled this P-A-L, Dale, principal, like a school.
That's okay.
P-L-E.
I always wanted to be a principal.
Well, owning and operating a real estate company is very, very closely like that. Let's be honest.
There you go.
So, but Dale's going to assume the operating principal role. Sky has been moved. She's going to be the assistant market center. She's going to be Lindsay's assistant. She's going to be a right-hand person helping do her market center administrator tasks. But she's also going to be putting a lot of time and effort into tech trainer. So there is no reason, not in our office, there's plenty of reasons in other people's offices, why it's very difficult to get technology implemented into your business. We've made the investment, the technology is available to all of you, and Sky is here full-time except on most days that end in Y, and she works part-time. Just kidding, Sky. She's here full-time to help you guys out on everything tech. There's no reason if you have a problem, if you have a challenge, you get stuck, talk to Sky. She's here to help you out of that. We got Annie here. She's a new face to the team, not new to me for whatever means. Everywhere I go, she seems to be there. Annie worked with me at my prior company before coming here. She's assuming the role as the agent services coordinator. So she's going to be full-time. She's going to be right there in the front, in the office, off of the front lobby. And then last but not least, we have Steele. Yes, we all know that Steele has a very cool name. He knows that he has a very cool name. You can do a lot of plays off this. You can call him aluminum steel. You can call him cold steel, blue steel. You know, he has that face with blue steel. But Steele's going to be our director of first impressions. I got that wrong, but that's our team. We're continuing to grow. We do have online to bring in a full-time productivity coach. We're dialing in the details on that, but we're hoping to make an announcement on that early next month or later this month. We'll let you know as things going to transpire. Any questions on that? Awesome. Happy birthday. So these are February birthdays. So upcoming birthdays, we got Stephen Jong. His birthday is today. So be sure to reach out to him and give him a happy birthday. We got Tanya Mack. We got Jenny Pike. Hope I said that right. And Sky's birthday is this month as well.
And so is Brett's.
Yeah. And so is mine.
We need to have a
When you
party.
get to a certain age, you just stop counting. So
Yeah, everybody remember to say happy birthday to Brett. We're gonna post it all over the place and Sky too, but make sure you make a big deal. Maybe even we'll sing.
I didn't think Lindsay was going to say something. If I knew that, I would have pushed mute. I just would have put zip it. Okay. So anyways, those are the birthdays. Please reach out to everyone. Okay. Last item before we get into the just listed, and then we're going to dive into the state of the market. We're going to talk about the mortgage moratorium, just a lot of cool stuff. Not necessarily cool stuff, but stuff that you guys need to know in order to be that expert, that go-to person in real estate. So congratulations on your recent closings. These are our agents who have closed transactions since February 8th, because we're going back 2 weeks because we didn't do our team meeting last week. So we got Fred said, Debbie Lee, Robert Mack, Faye Lee, Willis Lee, Masara Johanna, Elizabeth Coe, Miles Zhao. Miles was a monster. He did last month, he closed like 10 million just in last month in sales volume, like 2 houses too. I'm a big fan of doing the least amount of effort to get your maximum return. And you want to do that, you have to increase your sales price. We got Young Lee, and then we have Kareem Waba, who all closed transactions in the last couple of weeks. Congratulations, everyone. We know that we're in challenging markets. All right, so just listed. Sean Healy just listed this 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Huntington Beach. It's listed at $950,000. So if you guys have somebody that's looks like a pretty nice house. Hey, this is your neck of the woods, Jeff. This your neighbor?
My neighbor, absolutely.
Neighbor? Yeah, this is Jeff's neighbor.
Absolutely. I believe it's an escrow already too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's Marina Lane in Huntington Beach. You guys have anyone, reach out to Sean. We got Ryan McMillan, 74 Vines in Ladera Ranch. 3-bed, 2.5-bath for $625,000.
That's an escrow also.
Oh, well, we're going to go into the average days on market and the average months of supply. So some of these might be active like right now. And by the time that we actually finish this meeting, they might already be in escrow. So, early bird gets the worm. Is that Tom Nash? Tom Nash, are you in the office? What? I've seen Tom Nash more in this last week than I saw him all last year. And the only reason why I can hear you talk is because I can hear you outside my office because you're on mute. Anyways, that's Roy McMillan, 3 Vines in the Ladera Ranch. Catherine Deaton, 1 bedroom, 1 bath in San Clemente. Looks like nice house right off of the beach. We got Fred said in Arcadia. If you guys go that far north into Arcadia, 4 bedroom, 4 bath in Arcadia for looks like just under 1.3. And then Ava Wang, 8782 Grinley in Cyprus, 3 bedroom, 2 baths for 738,000. Is Ava on here? I don't think Ava's on here. Young Lee, 2 bedroom, 2 bath in Chino. Looks like hey Dale, it looks like we're expanding our service area. It's going up into San Gabriel area. Because that's what we do.
I'll take it.
We just push properties. See, all this time I only thought that Dale did things in Irvine. Then he started listing things in like Tustin and
Los Alamitos,
Irvine.
Long Beach,
Hey,
San Francisco.
I'm that kind of guy.
Absolutely. Vegas. Yeah.
Look, when all you have to do is go to bed and wake up in the morning to take listings, you can't really be too picky on where they come from if they just show up.
There you go.
North Tustin, Orange, James Patton, 2 bedroom, 2 bath at 410. Dale, I think we're coming up to you here in a second.
Yeah.
Kareem Waba, Colonial Court. I think Kareem, did you want to say anything about oh, you sold this. This like sold like quick, didn't it? You had this like on the
10
market for
offers.
what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, we had 10 offers in like 3 days.
10 offers in 3 days. Like I said, guys, it's all about relationships. Oh, another one. Packer Circle in Tustin. 1 bedroom, 1 bath. That one had to probably sell in like 5 minutes.
In escrow also.
How many offers you get on that one?
I probably 3, 4, 5, something like that.
I know it's too many. You can't remember. It like moves so fast. Okay, let's go in. Gosh, I'm running out of breath here. Dale, I'm up to you.
All right. I have
Cherry
2
Hill
offers
Drive.
on this one. I have 2 offers on this one, and one is over asking, and I sold it to them for $525.
You sold
Not
it
a bad deal,
How
huh?
long ago was that?
1992.
92 sold for. That's a pretty good return.
Yeah, it's going to sell for over 2.2. So it'll be gone by the end of the day, guys.
Okay, so that's code that if you have anyone that wants a 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath in North Tustin, that you should get with Dale before
Exactly.
before the end of the day, but probably you should text him right now before the end of this meeting. And then
There you
here's your
go.
other one, Dale.
That one sold too. Sold for $100. This used to be my house. I sold it to him for $530, and we sold it for $1,620.
How long ago was that?
I sold it to him in '99. With my kids and I, it was too small for us. So he bought it in '99 for $530, and now he's selling it for $1,620, all cash. We had higher offers, but he wanted the cash buy because it's a 21-day close.
Okay. So this one is still available if you got anyone.
For about
By the end of the day.
6 more hours.
What'd you say?
For about 5 more hours.
For about 5 more hours. So you guys got about 3 hours to actually do anything with it. And then you got this one, which is already sold. So let's not even talk about that one. Right, Kareem? We'll just move on from that one.
Yeah, let's not talk about it to Kareem especially.
Let's not talk about it to Kareem. Okay, so 2 more, and then we're going to dive into the state of the market. 2 Silver Maple, Irvine. Did you sell this one time too, Dale? You probably sold this one too.
I did not. I must have missed that one.
You must have missed that one. Sonia beat you to it. 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 900,000. Reach out to Sonia right here in Irvine. And the last one, but not least, Fred Stepanian, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, Tustin. God, a lot of properties in Tustin and North Tustin this last couple of weeks, and San
We
Gabriel.
should open an office out there, Brett.
We should open an office in Tustin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could take all that business. Let's do it. Okay. All right, guys, state of the market. Here's where we go. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I was diving deep into the numbers. Kareem came into my office while I was doing this. And so I've been working on this for like an hour, and I didn't even get finished. So
Color coded,
I'm gonna
right?
get to a certain point. I'm going to start sharing some other things with you guys. So here's where here's where we're at as of InfoSparks, as of about, 30 minutes ago. These are accurate as of 30 minutes ago. Orange County, new listings, down 4.2%. Active listings, down 26.3%. Remember the low inventory? Yeah, still low. Pending home sales, down 4.8%. This is an important number to look at. The pending home sales gives you an insight to what the closed inventory looks like in the next 30 to 45 days. So if we're down 4.8% in pendings, chances are we're going to be down year over year in the next 30 to 45 days. So closed sales year over year. Now these are numbers that are compared for all of January. Yeah, we're in February, all of January to the prior year, January. So January 2021 to January 2020. The reason why I go over this with you is because the numbers are dynamic. So when you go into InfoSparks, you can check and see what things are going on, one day, and the next day it's going to be different because, people report things at a different time. Typically, the numbers are fairly static come the mid-month, but you still do see some movement over the course of the month. Days on market, down 60%, 12. Average days on, median days on market in Orange County, 12. Month supply, down 28.6%. We have a 1.5 month supply of homes on the market. What that means, if no new homes came onto the market, and we have 2,868, that we would deplete at our current demand, we would deplete our inventory in 1.5 months. Sales price, median sales price up almost 7 points at 789,000. If somebody bought at the median home sales price in Orange County in January of last year and they sold it this year, they would have been up 6.8%.
Is that supposed to be in green then?
Yes, it was. Yes, it is. In fact, let me fix that. Thanks, Jeff.
Uh-huh. I'm paying attention.
Everybody's a critic. Everybody's a critic, especially Jeff.
Yeah,
There. No, really. Thanks for that. Anyways, fixed. So median sales price up 6.8, average sales price up 2 points. So either way, you're up. Now let's look at Irvine. New listings up 11.3%. So inventory is coming up, but our active listings are still down. So even though we've increased our number of new listings, we still see overall the active listings are down 23.8%. Pending home sales are up 8.6. So in the next 30 to 45 days, we're probably going to see another double-digit number posting in sales. Closed sales are up 16.5%. Days on market in line with the county, but we're at 17, down 60%. So, it is like an iPhone. Homes are selling hand over fist. So 17 days. Month supply, we're a little bit higher than, if you guys remember when we were talking about this closer to the first of the month, this was actually 1.5. So just by the reporting and the updated of the MLS, you can see the adjustment. Month supply is still down 28%. But that gives us 1.8 months of supply. Really what we're talking about, 1.5 months to 2 months supply. Like, does it really matter? We go from a days on market from 17 to maybe 22. It doesn't really matter. So really shows that we're still in a very, very hot seller's market. Median sales price, 900,000, up almost 10.5%. year over year. And the average sales price punched over $1 million, up 4.7% over the year. Okay, so the state of the market is it's a hot seller's market. And they're really, as far as Irvine's concerned, you know, from an overall county perspective, from these numbers, if we're seeing a decrease in pending home sales, you know, that could very well affect the closed sales here in the next 30, 45 days. But when you start looking at Irvine, the pending home sales, you know, that's for example, guys, one thing that we look at as far as the company, we're always looking at things, what go pending this month, because that's going to forecast profitability in the next 30, 45 days, right? So you guys should be looking at the same thing. If you don't have anything in escrow this month, chances are in 30, 45 days, you're not going to have a closing. So we want to focus on continuing taking listings, continue putting things into escrow. So who can tell me, or who knows what's a balanced market? Anyone? Balanced market. How many months supply? Nancy, you're on mute.
6 months.
Say that. Say it again, Dale.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
That was what I was going to say. 6
From
months.
Nancy and Dale's math to our ears. Yeah. And you know, in fact, that's actually what the National Association of Realtors also say. Okay.
Wow.
So we are at a 1.8 month supply, 1.5, 1.8 months of supply. So the further we go, the further left we go on those lower numbers, the more severe our seller's market is. So, but I want to share with you guys some things. Here's a 1 month supply. Now this graph is as far back as it goes. You know, when you go into InfoSparks, you can go 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and then max. And max is out at 10 years. So if you go back all the way, so this line right here is 6 months supply. Neutral. We have to go all the way back to January or November of 2011 for it to hit a 6 month supply. Now, prior to that, if this box wasn't here, we'd hit some peaks here and it would have a dip here and a peak here, but you know, you would see that, right? So that's 2012. That's what, 9 years ago? Did I do the math right on that? 9 years ago to get back to a balanced market. Dale, do you remember what it was like back in 2011?
I do. And most of those properties were distressed properties. That's how quickly they got absorbed in 1 year.
Yeah. See, and we're going to talk about that too, guys. So, and then we look at all of Orange County, you still have to go back to November 2011 to get a 6 month supply. Right. And then it just blew up. Dale, you probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep. Being the guy that just goes to bed and wakes up and gets listings, you probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep from November to January. You were just too busy selling properties.
Actually, it's funny you talk about that. I was still doing REOs, and I would wake up and I would get 2 or 3 listings from the bank. And they didn't stop till the end of 2013. But it was crazy. It was crazy considering how long the downturn took from 2006 to 2012. It came back inside of 1 year. That's how strong the Orange County market was.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this peak, guys. So January of 2008, 12 months supply. Nothing was selling. And then in 1 month, the inventory dropped. I mean, the inventory dropped by 4 months.
1 year.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, that one. Yeah. 1 year. And then it went boom. And then it just went sideways a little and then it dropped down again. Okay. So here's a question. Where will the inventory come from? Anyone want to share some insights? Benny, I know you got some ideas. Where is the inventory going to come from?
Sellers.
Well, yeah, sellers.
Let's go. Get those listings.
Sellers. Okay. So here's some things I want to share with you. So anyone here except me actually read the reports that come out every month by Black Knight? Katya does, Mary does. Okay. So let's talk about they come out every month. So, but they usually have a 2-month lag. So the January is about ready to come out. But this is December's. This is the 90-day default by year. 90-day default activity rose by more than 250%. That's 2.6 million. Now, this is on a national scale. In 2020, with 3.5 million homes becoming 3 or more payments past due last year. Okay. The market, this marked the 3rd largest such default volume of any year on record and the largest annual total since 2009 when the default activity
the meeting
during the Great
around
Recession.
1:15. If it's okay for him.
Okay. Foreclosure starts hit a record low, falling by 67% from the year prior as moratoriums and forbearance plans protected homeowners from facing foreclosures in the wake of the pandemic. Okay. Now this is on a national scale, guys. I was in the middle of putting together another slide. Hold on. To show you guys what's going on as far as the census. So let's talk about this for a second. So there's a lot of, now again, this is the nation. Last I checked, even though there's a lot of people moving to California to get rid of, to secede, we're still part of the nation. So the numbers are absorbed into that. So there's going to be some sort of percentage that's going to affect us. Is it feasible to believe that all of these people who have gone into default are not going to be able to come out of default? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
You think some of these guys are going to be equity rich and are going to want to maybe sell their property? So I bring that up because this is something that's going to be coming down the pipeline. This is something that needs to be on everybody's radar. And it's something, the hot market isn't going to be lasting indefinitely, right? Dale's been in the business for like 35 years. He's gone through like an ice age, probably at least 3 times. Right, Dale?
Yes.
When you got into real estate, driver's ed was done with the woolly mammoth.
That's correct. That's correct. It was tough steering those things.
I bet. Here's the other one, guys. Foreclosure starts.
This one is different.
Each one's different.
Yeah.
Foreclosure start now. I'm going to move on. Foreclosure starts and sales by year. Foreclosure sales completions also hit a record low in 2020. Interesting. Foreclosure sales hit a record low with an estimated 40,000 sales in the year and more than 70% decline from the year prior, 2019. However, with 90-day delinquencies more than 5 times pre-pandemic levels, lack of foreclosure activity may be lulling us into a false sense of security about the true scope of the problem. A significant volume of stress exists in the market, and it's not going away quickly. Even judging by 2019's relatively strong level of performance, the data suggests some 325,000 foreclosure starts and 100,000 foreclosure sales were missing from the market in 2020. Guys, those are big numbers. Those are big numbers. So when we come back over to this number, right? The average, the Irvine month supply, or even the Orange County month supply. One way that these supply can come onto the market actually rather rapidly is the mortgage forbearance and the rent moratoriums to expire. Anyone want to comment on that? Dale, what are your thoughts on that?
I was
Tom, what are
signing
your
some
thoughts?
checks for Kelly. Forgive me.
Go ahead, what?
I'll be right with you.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Tom, what's your take on it? You and Dale were like, you guys were in real estate school together. So what's your take on it? Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
We'll unmute you, Tom. There you go. Unmute. Nope.
Okay, what was the question, Brett? I'm sorry. I've got
Tom's in.
All right. So when I got in the industry, that is exactly what I was doing. I dogged, and I'll tell you, it was a different animal back then going after the foreclosures, the REOs. And that is the reason why I got into business. I figured that if I'm going to buy real estate and I wanted to buy foreclosures, I might as well get in the industry. So real estate goes way, way back into my brain. As far as these forbearance, I would say, and the possibility, that's just going to be a small segment of the market. We should not be expecting a whole lot from that. There could be, but and there's going to be a lot of us out there for them. Is that what you're asking, Brett? What the possibility?
Yeah, just kind of want your take on it. Just trying to get everybody else's take. I think everybody has, everything's going to be speculation at this point. Nobody knows what the future holds.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of
Some will be
opportunities.
bullish. I'm just trying to get everybody's opinion on it.
Okay, so my feeling is that yes, there's a lot of people that bought new homes. So there's going to be those that are going to want to, for one reason or another, sell those homes. So there's been very successful agents out there that farm the new homes and then wait for those to come back on the resale. So that's an opportunity. Building up the relationships, we've talked about that till we're blue in the face. That'll never stop. And so keeping that up, throwing out the net that is a wider net. So going back, and you've talked on it, Brett, going back, touching base with those that have been on the market for years back and seeing if they might want to consider selling one reason or another. I just got a retired real estate agent who knows us from years back and called us just a couple of days ago. Wants to purchase a home. And so you never know where these relationships will come from and those opportunities. You just got to keep the antenna up and be very cordial, be very professional. It's amazing. I was dealing with a potential client looking at one of our listings, and I was astounded because they called me Sunday and not at a convenient time, but I was very cordial, very polite. And the things that they said to me, and she was an attorney, as a matter of fact, and she said, you're like a breath of fresh air compared to some of these, to the other agents that I've been dealing with. So be very, very careful how you are. She even commented about how some of the agents showed up at the listings that they wanted to take a look at. Very unprofessional, she thought. So keep these things in mind as you're trying to build, and you are building your business and carrying on to hopefully a long-term tenure in this industry, because your impression and we could say this till we're all blue in the face. We know that first impressions are very, very important, but make sure that you have that smile on your face and you are very cordial and you're glad to hear from them, even though it may not be a very good time, a convenient time for you. They don't know that and they don't care, but you got to make sure that they are the reason why you are in this business, and that is the case. So just be careful of that and don't give up, don't stop. As Dale mentioned, this is a different kind of a market that we're in. The market is robust, but yet there's still a lot of people, still a lot of agents out there that are not doing so well. So, and that is because of the fact that the inventory is down, and so it's a seller's market. I'll tell you, we've been in this business long enough where you see the other side, from the 2008 to the 2012, and where you have the short sales and the foreclosures. We've been in that before. That's not fun. That's not pretty. And so that is even worse. So, and, where you have, tons and tons and tons of sellers, but no buyers. We don't see that right now because interest rates being so fantastic and low right now, but who knows?
What was your question, Brett? I've forgotten now.
So what's your take
What was the question?
What's your take on the 90-day defaults with the amount of people are in mortgage forbearance or rent moratorium? Just your take on those coming onto the market and how that would affect the market.
Well, I think it's going to depend on how quickly we get the economy going. Everybody has equity in their homes, so I do not believe that we're going to see a lot of foreclosures or short sales. If these people get into serious trouble, they're going to put their house on the market, and we can see what's happening with homes that come on the market. So I'm not sure, as Tom mentioned, that's an area that I would concentrate on, foreclosures or REO. Right now, my number one issue is getting listings. And there are going to be listings for move-ups. This is in March, April is when they put their homes on the market. So I think you will see more inventory. I would not be concerned about foreclosures simply because if these people get into trouble, remember they've had 9 years appreciation, they have tons of equity, they put their house on the market and it'll be sold immediately.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to agree with you, Dale. I don't think that the foreclosures are going to come in. And if they do, I mean, just with the laws, it's going to be years down the road. But on the same token, guys, you guys have heard me say it once. You probably hear Daryl say it. You hear everyone else saying it. People who are not selling their home, if they're looking to sell their home short term, they need to know this information. Like, when is good enough good enough? Like, this could, not saying it will, this could change on a dime. What happens if the stimulus ends? Sooner or later, the moratoriums and the forbearance programs, they've got to end. Sooner or later, probably later, that the stimuli is going to end and rates are going to start trickling. In fact, Benny, I think I saw an increase in the 10-year treasury. I think it was down to 0.4% yields, like back in March or April, and now they're like at 1.4.
In just 1 week, rates have gone up 0.25% to 0.35%. It doesn't seem like a lot. That's a massive increase in a short period of time. And I believe that's the trend we're going to see moving forward. We're already starting to see it.
So guys, when interest rates go up, that puts downward pressure onto demand. I mean, we're at a 1.5 month supply. So, I mean, how much downward pressure? But that downward pressure nonetheless. And then as we start seeing inventory start coming on, well, here, let me show you this. Who here follows the United States Census, the Housing Pulse survey? Anyone here follow that but me? I'm like the only nerd of the group. That's okay. I'll be the only nerd of the group. Here, let me share this with you. So this is something that the census does. Let me expand this. So this is a poll, right? So you have all these little questions here. It's a nation. So we can click on California here. Okay. And then over here to the left, expected loss in employment income. There are 34.7% of the people who answered this poll who believe that they will expect to lose their job, their income in the near future due to COVID related. 35%. Now, if we go into housing insecurity, this is the percentage of adults who are not current on rent or mortgage payments or who have slight or no confidence that their household can pay next month's rent or mortgage on time. Those polled is 7%. But here's the thing. Here's the one that I look at. Likelihood of eviction or foreclosure. Percentage of adults living in households not current on rent or mortgage where eviction or foreclosure in the next 2 months is either very likely or somewhat likely. Those who answered the polls, 35% of those who responded to the poll feel that within the next couple of months, they're going to get that knock at the door. Now, here's the thing with California foreclosure laws. Not possible. Eviction, not really possible either, because we're going to talk about that. You also have one here, difficulty paying for unusual household expenses or usual household expenses, 41.2. This is the percent of adults living in households where it's been somewhat or very difficult to pay for usual household expenses during the coronavirus pandemic. Not saying that this is the everyday problem that all of us are having, but this is information that I think everybody needs to be aware of. This is information that business people operating in a business need to be aware of. You know, right now things are awesome. A baby laughs and a house sells. A baby sneezes, Dale takes one, baby laughs, it sells. So, I mean, it's hot. It's really great. You know, you gotta take things while it's hot. But you also have to take into consideration all the movements in the market. You have increased yields on the 10-year treasury. You know, that directly affects interest rates. Interest rates going up gives downward pressure on demand. We have people can't afford payments. We have stimulus that's coming in that's numbing everything, but there is a decrease in jobs, wages, and income, all downward pressure. Okay. These are things that need to be on your radar because we can't just operate the way that business is now. We can't plan that in the next 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. We need to adapt as the market continues to adapt. Everyone's going to need to sell homes. So I think it's quite possible, not saying probable, depending on what your beliefs are. It's possible that a lot of these people who are in forbearance, who have this mortgage moratorium, by the way, I couldn't find it in my email. Mortgage moratorium, California kicked it down till June. So it used to be that renters who were behind on payment from the period of September to the end of February could pay 25% of their rent and not be evicted for non-payment. California has passed an extension to that law that now it's down to June 28th. So June, right? So, and if they don't pay 25% of the rent that's from September to June, that's when you can actually start foreclosing, or evicting based on non-payment.
Hey, Brett, when did the moratorium actually start last year? What month was that?
Oh my gosh, they retroacted it down to March. So they had two. So the first one was March, April, May, and then you had to, sign some sort of disclosure. And then from that point to current has been extended.
So we're gonna be almost like 15, 16 months then. Come June.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about the forbearance, guys. A lot of you know that I came from the default space, modifications, short sales, foreclosures. The current loan forbearance programs that are on the books right now that could happen with Fannie and Freddie require the person in forbearance to have a balloon payment of the rent that they can't pay monthly. That all of that comes due when that forbearance period ends. So if you can't, here's the logic in it, and it kind of comes back down to maybe our government officials. Oh, can you guys still hear me? My screen just blacked out. Yeah. If you can't make your payment each month for the last 13 months, what is the likelihood that you're going to be able to do a balloon payment in month 14? Okay. So if that doesn't happen, then they have to apply for a loan modification. Last time the loan modifications came around, they had to pass a special loan modification, the Home Affordable Act, which brought the interest rates down to as low as 2%, minimum 4%, as low as 2%. Everyone has a lower than 4% rate, probably a 3% rate. So how are they going to extend? So back to Dale's point, people are going to be rich in equity. Their forbearance is going to come due. They're going to be threatened with foreclosure. They're not going to be able to modify. Maybe they can refinance, but the only other option that they're going to have is to put their home on the market. And Dale can't.
They would not be able to refinance.
Dale can't take all the listings.
I said, Bert, they would not be able to refinance because they didn't make their payment.
There you
So
go.
that goes on your credit.
And that goes into this Black Knight data, guys, is that we're not seeing foreclosure starts because of the forbearance programs and the foreclosure moratorium. You're not getting people evicted because, and Stephen, he has a client right now that the tenants aren't paying rent, and the courts aren't even taking eviction cases. What he told me is that the attorney told him is that add 3 months on top of when the actual moratorium expires, and that'll probably be the time that you could actually, the first time you could see a judge. So if eviction moratoriums go till the end of June, we have July, August, and September. First time that you'd probably be able to see a judge is going to be October. And then if you actually go through an eviction process, there's probably going to be such a flood onto it that there's going to be a backlog of that. So there's opportunities here if you know how the pieces are being moved around. I think that
Hey,
there's going to be I think there's going to be opportunity for more listings, but you got to start having the conversation. Sellers who are not selling right now, who are looking to sell in the near future, but are just holding out for the market to get better, is by definition speculating the market, and it could burn them.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah.
You might know this. I mean, I'm just trying to think how the agents can get creative to anticipate. I agree with everyone. I don't think we're going to see the foreclosures and short sales because of the amount of equity. Is there any way to get any sort of record on people on forbearance? Because when all of these Band-Aids come off, right, the PPP loans, the EIDL loans, forbearance, when all that stuff is going to come to an end at some point, but to somehow track the people that have been taking advantage of those assistance loans, especially forbearance, and start marketing to those people. Is there any way to get a hold of that list?
You know,
Can't
that's
get a
a
hold
great
of that list.
question,
It's
Benny.
only through the credit bureau. So it's only on the credit report. So it's not a recorded document. So we don't have access to it. So who has access to Experian or Equifax?
You could buy
data from.
You could buy leads from the credit bureaus. Why couldn't you buy that information?
Well, here's
That's a
the
pretty
thing. You
penny
guys
right
remember the
there.
whole Cambridge Analytica scandal? Well, prior to the Cambridge Analytica scandal, you could target people who were late 30, 60, 90 on their credit for their mortgage.
Right.
But then all that, like Facebook ads was so cool 5 years ago. Now it's still pretty cool, but not as cool as it used to be, because you could really, really laser focus in onto a demographic. So really what it's going to come out to be is just utilizing various different marketing techniques, both digital and traditional, and start creating content that would attract people who are in forbearance. Is anyone here seeing any type of content out there that's even talking about to home sellers about mortgage forbearance, the loan modifications, how to unwind their problem? You know, a good example, Nancy, I'm going to bring you in on this. You know, guys, Nancy does a ton. She's a great probate agent, and probates aren't going to go anywhere. And I'm going to bring this up just because it's a very similar space, but she does a lot of different techniques that, you know, the harder it is, the less competition that you have. And I've been able to watch Nancy build out her probate, which she won't share with the secrets with you, nor will I share her secrets with you, just in case anybody asks. But she's been able to really use both traditional and modern digital tactics to really generate business on probate. And, you know, that's where you got to get creative. That's where our office really shines. Everybody, all of our competition is focusing on traditional sales activities, and they always work. Where the opportunity is in the digital space. And to your point, Benny, is if you start creating content around the people who are in forbearance and start coming up with, you know, information that would be attractive to them. Kareem, I'm actually writing this down as we talk, because I told Kareem that Kareem and I are going to do a webinar for some people. That's what's going to get you your list, because if you get them now and they get to know you, like you, and trust you, that's increasing your sphere of influence.
Mhm.
And if you're helping them navigate this, I did this all the time during the defaults, right? I worked with people on loan modifications. Now I knew the math behind it, that they were unlikely to get a modification. But when it comes to someone's house on a loan modification, they have to go through the process themselves and get denied before they're even willing to have a conversation on selling their home. And I think that situation is a lot like this situation. If you can get them early enough, start educating them, start providing them help, that when and if they get denied and they really have to make that tough decision, they're going to turn to the person who helped them to help navigate that. Wow, I talked a lot there. I need to take a breath after that one. So, comments? Anyone want to share?
Hey, Brett, I have one idea where you might be able to target these people still. So YouTube ads is still pretty much the wild, wild west when it comes to advertising, and they haven't really limited what you can do. So
Love
if there's
YouTube ads.
anywhere where you can target people that have looked at forbearance or possibly in forbearance, that would be the thing that I would look into, is YouTube for that.
Yeah, great suggestion, Lawrence. Guys, YouTube ads are extremely affordable when you compare them to both the Instagram and Facebook, and it's not saturated. But you got to create a video. Kareem, are you saying something to us? Because you're on mute. Oh, I think he's on the phone. Anyways, guys, that's what I got. I wanted to share that with you. Really wanted to kind of dive deep into this. If you take anything away from this, know that Sky's birthday is on the 28th. So take that. And number 2 is skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it's at. That's a Wayne Gretzky quote. I don't play hockey, but I bet you Jeff Gibson understood that one. You know, play to where the market's going. I mean, what do you got to lose? Dale's taking all the listings. Between Dale and Nancy, they're taking all the listings. So
I always say the same thing, Brett. You need to know where the curve is going, and you need to be in front of the curve.
Yeah.
And
Here's
the
my
market
take
is
on it.
changing, and we need to know what's going on.
I think from just a traditional, just from a normal market, we're overdue on a correction. Just from that. You throw in all this stuff that we've been going through and all these forbearance and mortgage moratoriums and everything like that, I think that that's safe to say that it's worth at least having the conversation about it, to talking to people. You
Basically,
might be
just
working with
like
a
the book
seller.
says, who moved my cheese?
Who moved my
You got to go
cheese?
after the cheese. You got to follow it, go after it.
Why are you
Find
making
it.
a comment about the event that Mary sponsored? That's weird.
That was last Wednesday. So,
All right, guys. Oh, last thing I want to talk to you guys about. Last thing, award ceremony. We're going to do an award ceremony this year. It's not going to be late. We're going to be working on that. Probably the working time is going to be mid-April. It's going to be a blast. Annie's taking the lead on that. She shared with me some ideas. It's going to be off-site. It's going to be fun. Remember what I always tell you guys, if you have food, alcohol, or CE, if you have 2 of those 3, you'll get agents. It'll have 2 of those 3s, and it won't be the CE. So,
Brett, can I mention something? Speaking of that,
yeah.
I'm wanting you all to think about, because I talked to Dale about this, but Barb and I, we are planning on a sponsored event around Cinco de Mayo. Now that's a Friday, but Taco Tuesday type thing, that could be the Tuesday ahead of time. But anyway, love to do that, have the agents. Not sure how we're going to do that with the COVID, but yet we had fun here anyway with the past experience. So we're planning on basically having a good time and sponsoring that, being thankful for all of the great agents that we have, new agents. So just wanted to all of the ladies and that could maybe rally whatever we need to do, but we're here to make a fun event down the line.
Hey,
Is there
Tom,
gonna be
turn
a
around.
mariachi
Who is that
band?
behind you?
That's Michael May. Hey, Michael.
Is there going to be a mariachi band on Cinco de Mayo? You can't have
Well,
Cinco de Mayo without a
Dale
mariachi
said,
band
we're
or
gonna have to
salsa.
have a piñata, and we'll have to talk to Nina about that. And I said, well, what's going to go inside it? $100 bills or what? Yes.
$100 bills, y'all?
In the piñata, I don't know. Piñata, whatever those things are. So, but anyway, to have fun, that's the main thing. Celebrate and celebrate you. So, anytime you have an opportunity to celebrate every day, that's a good thing.
You know what? I celebrate everything.
You got it.
Yes, you do.
Except Gibson.
That's
I did
coming.
celebrate Lawrence joining his team though. All right, guys, that's all I got today. So we're right
Thank
on
you.
time, 12:56. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk more about we have some other cool things coming up that you guys will start seeing notices on. So
All right.
take care, guys. Bye.
Take care.
Great meeting. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye. Thanks, Brett.